All right, just about time for some roller derby. Up next, we've got Lilac City up against Socal. And here we go. Well, we have number 802 from Socal. That's Farrell Fawcett jamming up against Teller Payne for Lilac City. Teller Payne of lead jammer for Lilac City. Four points picked up by Lilac City. First blood, and it's purple. Number 21, Wojo jamming for Socal up against Mayday for Lilac City. Mayday picking up lead jammer. Mojo still stuck behind that purple wall. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Another 4 points for Lilac City. Star Pass now Sweaty jamming for Socal. Mayday hits the floor, has to get recycled. And another 4. Looks like the pack kind of falling apart a little bit there as Mayday gets to another time. 15 seconds left in this jam. Looks like Mayday gonna stick around. Mayday getting recycled and calls off the jam right at the end of the jam clock. 16 big points for Lilac City, a very big jam. Tough Muffin wearing the star for Lilac City up against Gunner. Jamming for Socal. Socal are the Cuttlefish, and they look very cuddly if you like a skate to the face. Gunner getting recycled by number 57 all halfway around the track. And Tough Muffin has to be let through. Pack fell apart. Lead Jammer, Tough Muffin for Lilac City. Tough Muffin making it through again. Another 4 points for Lilac City. Holly Scria now wearing the star. And that's the end of the jam. Another 8 points for Lilac City. Socal still looking for that first point. Jamming for Socal, it's Terrorist. Patellar Payne jamming for Lilac City. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in on YouTube. Say hi in the chat. If you're supporting a specific skater, let me know and I'll do a shout out. A little jammer on jammer action there. Terror is giving Patellar Payne a little bit of shoulder. And looks like Patellar Payne heading to the penalty box. Chance for Socal to have a power jam. Get on the score clock. First Terrace has got to figure out this pack. Terrace getting bounced around quite a bit out there. Looking for an opening. And Terrace finds a way through. Lead Jammer. First time this game for Socal. Terrace calls off the jam, but picks up 3 points. Socal now on the scoreboard. Wearing the star for Lilac City, it's Mayday. Up against Farrell Fawcett for Socal. And Farrell Fawcett picks up lead jammer, finds an opening on the outside, and just bashes right through. Looks like no points picked up that jam. Incorrect. There was 1 point picked up for Socal. Tough Muffin picking up lead jammer for Lilac City. Feral Fawcett was in the penalty box. Now engaging with the pack. Tough Muffin finds an opening. 4 points for Lilac City. Feral Fawcett finds a way around that impressive defense being mounted by Lilac City. But does not get any points. Wojo wearing the star for Socal. Up against Patellar Payne. Jamming for Lilac City. Wojo getting recycled way back by number 5. That's super badass. Super badass. Patellar Payne breaking through first. Lead jammer for Lilac City. Four points picked up by Patellar Payne. Patellar Payne finds a big opening on the curve. Nobody sees her coming, and she busts through first to lead. Oh, she's already been the lead. 4 more points. Holly Scria picks up the star, but does not get any points for Socal. 12 points for Lilac City. Wearing the star for Socal, it's Gunner. Up against Mayday for Lilac City. Gunner finds an opening on the outside, rolls around the outside, and makes lead jammer for Socal. Gunner. Gunner really pouring on the speed, does a pirouette, and calls off the jam. 4 points for Socal. And now Terrorist up against Stuffed Muffin. Terrorist dealing with the entire Lilac City pack. Looking for a little bit of help from some teammates. Meanwhile, Tough Muffin knocks a couple of people down and makes the lead jammer. Lilac City with lead jammer status. Holly Scria taking the star, but getting recycled way back. Meanwhile, Tough Muffin picking up 4 points. on that trip through the pack. Tough Muffin dealing with a couple of blockers from Socal makes it through. Another 4 points for Lilac City. You know how Screw Ya makes it through. Into the jam, 12 points for Lilac City. Timeout called. Socal requesting that timeout. Don't forget to check out our awesome vendors, Witch's Brew Coffee Company outside. They have got some yummy sounding coffees, also some energy drinks. They're going to be sticking around until about 2 o'clock, so make sure you get out there and get some yummy caffeine or some energy drinks. And of course, Oh My Quad Skate Shop from Prescott, Arizona, owned by a couple of derby skaters. They would love to meet you and help you with your skating gear needs. And of course, there are some delicious empanadas over there from Empanadas 801. Authentic taste of Peru, right here in Salt Lake City. They look absolutely delicious. Empanadas 801. Just a few of our awesome vendors making this weekend happen. Back to the skating. Taylor Payne up against Farrell Fawcett. Farrell Fawcett really fast off the line there. But Patellar Payne makes it through first. Lead jammer, Patellar Payne. And we've got a skater down. And it looks like she's back up on her skates. Heading over to get checked out, but always good when they leave on their skates. Mayday up against Wojo. It's the battle of the rhyming names. Wojo breaks through first. And his lead jammer, Wojo, for Socal. Looked like there was a little bit of confusion. Nobody was sure who was lead. But it is Wojo. Mojo calls off the jam. Timeout. Somebody lost their whistle. Official timeout called. What we like to call a zebra party. This is where the officials get together and discuss important things. Like who's bringing spinach dip to the after party. Don't forget to check out Wicked Little Clay Company for all your handmade polymer clay earring and jewelry needs. Just one of our awesome vendors making this weekend happen. There's also some amazing looking peanut butter over there from Must Be Nuts. Small batch gourmet peanut butter. All kinds of amazing stir-ins. Awesome flavors like Cookies and Dream and some seasonal specials made right here in Utah. That's Must Be Nuts. I guess nobody can come up with a good joke on legumes because peanuts are legumes, not nuts. Even though they're called peanuts. Useless facts from Lulu. And of course, Dusty Rose Vintage. Run by our very own Latigra and Colonel Skirts. They've got all kinds of awesome little treasures over there. Vintage statues and things like that. And of course, J.D. Miller Massage. I don't have any information, but I'm assuming you can get a massage. A little bit of a question about a call, but the officials can only see what they see. They don't have enough information to change it, so the call stands. We always say the officials didn't see it, it didn't happen. Gunner up against Mayday, but Mayday is starting in the box. So Socal gets to start this as a power jam. Gunner getting recycled way back. It's like Daddy Hood at doing that recycling. Good eco-friendly work there. Mayday now engaging in the pack. Out of the penalty box. Looks like there is no pack. Pack has just fallen apart. Data making the universal sign for what the heck is the pack? Mayday juking and jiving. Number 22 heading to the penalty box for that very, very hard hit on Gunner. I didn't see exactly what happened there, but it looked pretty big, and then Gunner was on the ground, so. And some more good old-fashioned stroller derby. But Mayday finally makes it through. Lead jammer. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Lilac City. Mayday tries to throw it. Gets recycled by number 804. Meanwhile, number 22 Wildebeest back out there to cause some more mayhem. Eight points picked up by Lilac City that time. Nothing for Socal. Terrorist wearing the star for Socal up against Tough Muffin. Lots of defense. Both jammers just hung up in this knot of a pack, looking for ways through. And Tough Muffin breaks through. Lead jammer, Tough Muffin for Lilac City. Holly Screw Ya taking the star, now jamming for Socal. And Tough Muffin calls up the jam with 4 points. Nothing for Socal. Patellar Payne picking up lead jammer up against Feral Fawcett. And Patellar Payne calls it off, shutting out Socal. Wojo up against Mayday again. Mayday stuck up at the front, but they have to let her through. Mayday, lead jammer. Looks like quite a bit of recycling happening out there. Like the pack fell apart. They have to let Mayday through. 4 points for Mayday. Holly Screw Ya now wearing the star for Socal. Mayday takes a big hit. And Mayday finally makes it around. 4 points. Picked up for Lilac City. 8 points this jam so far. Mayday finds a big opening on the inside. Mayday heading to the penalty box. And a timeout being requested by Lilac City. I think that they made it pretty clear they didn't like that call. And if you need some chocolate, go check out Tortured Truffles. All kinds of spooky themed chocolate. I'm definitely picking up some of those. Looks like they are gluten-free and vegan based on what I saw over there at the booth. It looked delicious. And of course, outside you can go get your caffeine or your energy drinks from Witch's Brew Coffee Company. So if you're feeling a little bit draggy after all of these roller derby games, go get some Witch's Brew coffee or energy drinks. Looks like that call was rescinded. The blocker was out of play, which is why the skater kept going and didn't get recycled. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, drop something in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Let us know who you're supporting. There are 32 people watching and no chat. That's weird. Big shout out to our sponsors, including the best pizza in Utah, possibly in the West, the Pie Pizzeria. 6 locations for all of your awesome smoked oyster pizza that I can no longer eat. It makes me very sad. Awesome pizza, though. Best pizza in the area. They've been sponsoring Wasatch Roller Derby since the very beginning. And of course, Big Willie's is now the exclusive after-party location for Wasatch Roller Derby. Right downtown. Great food, great drinks, great sports. And of course, big thank you to Aspen Press and Packaging, who printed the flyers. Well, the officials giveth and the officials taketh away. That official review. The official call stands. Back to roller derby. More skate, less number crunching. Terrorist up against Tough Muffin. Jammers off the line. Immediate defense-rama out there. But at least the pack is moving. And Tough Muffin breaks through first. Lead Jammer Tough Muffin for Lilac City. And the jam is over. Gets called off by Tough Muffin. No points scored by either team. Seller P up against Farrell Fawcett. But Teller Paid picking up lead jammer. You have to let Patella Pig go. 4 points. Patella Pig getting recycled. Farrell Fawcett taking a hard hit. Mayday up against Wojo. Wojo having a lot of difficulty, and Mayday breaks through first. Lead jammer, Mayday. Wojo taking a hard hit by number 22. Four points for Mayday. Wojo getting bounced around like a pinball out there. That's the end of the jam. Nothing for Socal. 8 points for Lilac City. Up next is Tough Muffin wearing the star for Lilac City up against Gunner. Jamming for Socal. Tough Muffin getting sent way out, getting knocked around. Both teams once again pouring on the defense. Can't get points if you can't get out of the pack. And Tough Muffin finally breaks through. Lead jammer, Tough Muffin for Lilac City. That was a lot of defense being put up by Socal. Likewise, Lilac City's defense has been keeping Gunner back this whole time. 4 points picked up by Tough Muffin. And another 4 for Tough Muffin. The pack kind of falling apart there for a bit. And another 4 for Tough Muffin. Tough Muffin getting bounced around by that tripod. Looking a bit tired, but also kind of amused by it all. Looks like time for one more jam in this half. Terrorist going up against patellar pain. And patellar pain heading to the penalty box. I didn't see the call, but that means this is a power jam for Socal. If Terrorist can break through that big wall of purple. The old joke, what do you call a group of derby players? A bruise. And Terrorist is lead jammer for Socal. Teller Payne manages to lap Terrorist. And Terrorist calls off the jam. Cannot get through, but at least gets to block out Lilac City from picking up any more points. And that is the intermission. Once again, please use the outside bathroom if you are a observer. If you're not an active player or official, please go ahead and use the bathroom outside and leave the inside bathrooms for the skaters and officials. Just a few seconds till we get back to this game. Second half. Lining up first, wearing the star, it's Jester for Lilac City. And Farrell Fawcett wearing the star for Socal. Shimmers off the line. Farrell Fawcett taking a hard hit, I think, from Jester. Jester finds an opening on the outside. Lead jammer, Jester. First time jamming this game. And Jester calls it off with 4 points for Lilac City. Wojo up against Mayday. Both jammers hung up in heavy defense by the opposite teams. Everybody lying down, taking a nap. And Wojo breaks through first. Lead jammer Wojo for Socal. Getting a little cheer from Wojo's team. And Virginia? I did not get a pronunciation guide for that name. Meanwhile, Wojo heads to the penalty box. Makes us a power jam for Lilac City. Lilac City sending a couple of blockers to the penalty box as well. There's almost no purple out there right now. Wojo on a scoring run now with 4 points on that trip. Wojo finds an opening on the inside and another 4 for Socal. And another 4 for Lilac City as well. 12 points for Lilac City, 8 for Socal. Wearing the star for Socal, it's Gunner. Up against Teller Payne. Jamming for Lilac City. I always appreciate it when jammers wear something really different. Patellar Payne's bright pink shorts really help me keep track of the jammer. Patellar Payne picking up lead jammer. Looks like the online game is not currently broadcasting. Not sure if that's something someone can fix. Teller Payne now on scoring runs. Picked up 4 points already. Winding up for more. Does a nice pirouette. Dealing with number 07. But picks up another 4 points. Little Socal trip to the floor there. Lilac City sends another blocker to the penalty box. Holly, screw you, trying to get that helmet cover on, but just getting knocked around. Teller Payne, meanwhile, up to 16 points on this jam. And Holly Screw now successfully with the star on helmet. And Teller Payne calls it off. 16 points that trip through for Lilac City for that jam. Wearing the star for Lilac City, it's again Jester, number 123, up against Terrorist for Socal. From the chat, somebody says, let's go LCRD, and somebody else says, Terrorist. Lots of Lilac City fans out there. Shout out for Daddy Hood. Jester is lead jammer for Lilac City. Jester working the way through, but looks like Jester is heading to the penalty box. That makes this power jam for Socal. Lilac City really pouring on the defense, trying to keep Terrorists from picking up any points during this here power jam. Terrorists looking for some help from some teammates. Terrorists getting a little bit of help, but gets recycled right back to behind the pack. Meanwhile, Jester finds a very narrow space on the inside and picks up 4 points. Out of the penalty box and scoring now. And another 4 for Jester. Tough break for Terrorist, who looks very tired. Cannot ever disregard how hard this game is to play, how exhausting an hour of this is for these players. Getting knocked around, doing all of this blocking and pushing. Mayday up against Feral Fawcett. Feral Fawcett looking for a way around it. Finding a way through, lead jammer. Feral Fawcett for Socal. Both jammers on scoring run now. 4 points picked up by Socal that time. 2 for Lilac City. Patellar Payne up against Wojo. Patellar Payne breaking through first. Lead Jammer. Both Jammers on a scoring run. Patellar Payne powering through. 2 points for Patellar Payne. Quick call off. Trying to block out Socal. Gunner now wearing the star for Socal up against Jester. Jester finds a way through first. Lead Jammer, Jester. Jester gets let through as the pack fell apart. 4 points for Jester and Lilac City. Holly Screw taking a hard hit. Scully, number 57, sending Holly Screw to the ground again. Jester looking for a few more points here. Already picked up 8. Trying to push through. Socal sending Jester out. Way back. Jester says, heck with this. Calls off the jam. Mayday up against Terrorist. Jammer's off the line. Mayday finds a way through almost instantly. Lead Jammer for Lilac City. Finds another opening right there at the apex. 4 points for Lilac City. Mayday finds another way through. Another 4 points for Lilac City. That's 8 points this jam so far for the folks in purple. Sweaty has taken the star for Socal. Now dealing with a bunch of purple blockers. Mayday now skating backwards. Keeping an eye on the pack. Another 4 points. Sweaty getting recycled by Daddyhood. And another 4 points for Mayday. That is a 20-point jam so far. Mayday tries an apex jump, does a belly flop, but gets another 2 points. 22 points in that jam. Huge jam for Lilac City. Feral Faucet lighting up next to Tough Muffin. Tough Muffin dealing with a big knot of defense from Socal, and Feral Faucet picks up lead jammer. Lead jammer for Socal. Feral Faucet just pouring on the speed. Uses that speed to get past a couple of purple blockers. It does take the wind out of the sails a little bit there. As Tough Muffin now on a scoring run. Feral Faucet looking for some help. And calls off the jam to close out Tough Muffin from picking up any points. What we call strategery. 3 points picked up by Socal that time. Patellar Payne and Wojo wearing the stars. Wojo getting bounced around there, and Patellar Payne breaks through first. Lead jammer, Patellar Payne in the pink pants of power. Patellar Payne finds an opening on the inside. Jukes and jives, another 4 points for Lilac City. And Wojo heading to the penalty box. That makes us a power jam. Patellar Payne power jam, pink pants of power. Party. Patellar Payne dodges a block. And another 4 points for Lilac City. Patellar Payne just slides right around the outside. No one even noticed. And another 4. 2 on the scoreboard for Lilac City. But not for long. As Patellar Payne picks up another 4 and calls it off. 2-6, Lilac City. A lot of big jams here. Mayday up against Gunner. Looks like a timeout being requested by Socal. Got 12 minutes left on the clock for this game. Please don't forget to check out our vendors. Oh my quad. Skate shop out of Prescott, Arizona. Derby skater owned. For all your skating and gear needs. And some delicious, I would call them hand pies, from Empanadas 801, Peruvian style, Peruvian taste, right here in Salt Lake City. They look delicious. Artisanal empanadas. And of course, Wicked Little Clay Company with some really cool polymer clay earrings and jewelry. Check them out. Mayday back on the line up against Feral Faucet. A little change of lineup for what we thought we were going to have. Feral Fawcett almost stays in, but doesn't quite. 122 sending Feral Fawcett out. Mayday breaks through, but is not lead. Feral Fawcett is lead and calls off the jam. Now Gunner wearing the star for Socal. Tough Muffin out there wearing the star for Lilac City. Total defense happening right now. Nobody is moving. Just a whole lot of pushing and no movement. Gunner gets sent way back by number 22. It's a wildebeest. Gunner stays up on the toe stops, almost falls, but just manages to stay up. That was pretty impressive. I would have been flat. I'd have been on the ground. I probably wouldn't get back up. Just one more testament to the amazing athleticism of these skaters. Tough Muffin breaks through. Lee Jimmer, nice little curtsy there. Tough Muffin pushing on that tripod from Socal. Gets sent out and recycled. The pack falls, absolutely falls apart. Of course, when that happens, they can't engage, but they brought it back together. Tough Muffin makes it around, and 4 points. 4 points for Lilac City. As Tough Muffin lives up to that name. And that's the end of the jam. Wojo lighting up in the star for Socal. Up against Patellar Pain and the Pink Pants of Power. Patellar Pain gets recycled by number 37. That's Salty Siren doing that recycling. But Patellar Pain makes it through firstly. Jimmer, Patellar Pain. Patellar Pain getting knocked around quite a bit. That fall looked like it was painful. Patellar Pain calls it off. Not before Wojo picks up 1. 2 for Lilac City. 3 for Lilac City. 2 for Socal. 3 for Lilac City. Just keep ratcheting that up a little bit so we get it all right. Terrorist on the line for Socal. Mayday jamming for Lilac City. Terrorist doing a little ballet out there, trying to get past all of that purple. Meanwhile, Mayday heads to the penalty box. Terrorist pushing through, trying to find a way through. Maybe pulling on the power to get through that Socal tripod. Mayday makes it through, but it's not lead. There is no lead. It doesn't mean there can't be points. Just means it can't be called off. Socal doing everything they can to keep Mayday back. Mayday gets recycled by number 12, Sweaty, and that is the end of the jam. Full 2-minute jam. Lilac City picks up 3 points. That's a long jam for very few points. Tough Muffin out there wearing the star once again for Lilac City. Farrell Fawcett jamming for Socal. Farrell Fawcett finds the space on the outside rather, it finds the space and pours on the speed. Lead jammer, Farrell Fawcett for Socal. Now comes the part with the scoring. Farrell Fawcett dealing with a bunch of defense and getting tripped and spending time on the ground. Farrell Fawcett calls it off after getting bounced around out there. 4 points for Socal, though. Not completely a loss. Once again, patellar pain. Up against Wojo. Patellar pain getting sent way out by number 93, Basher. Patellar pain once again getting sent out by Basher, number 93. Patellar pain's taking a long way out. And that was one of the smoothest helmet passes I have ever seen. Patellar pain just slid that helmet cover right over. So often helmet passes are tricky things, but that one looked like it was scripted. Beautiful. Timeout being requested by Lilac City. Don't forget to check out Must Be Nuts, handcrafted small batch gourmet peanut butter. Unique and interesting flavors. Looks delicious. Must Be Nuts. And of course, Dusty Rose Vintage. All kinds of little trinkets, vintage items, statuettes, etc. Owned by our very own Latigra and Colonel Skirts. That's Dusty Rose Vintage. Just a couple of the vendors that you can support today that are here supporting us. And of course, Janie Miller Massage. And if you need a little bit of sweet, check out Tortured Truffles. Spooky themed chocolates and sweets. They look delicious. And of course, a shout out to Aspen Press and Packaging, who printed up our flyers for this weekend. Back to roller derby. Mayday towing the line right next to Gunner. Gunner jukes and jives right through that Lilac defense lead jammer. Gunner. Gunner getting real low. My knees hurt just watching it. Gunner calls it off. Ooh, official timeout called. Oh, we have a skater down. It's number 37 back on skates. We're heading over to the medic station to get checked out. Big thank you to our medics to help keep these skaters safe and patch them up when they get hurt. And back to the action. Terrorist up against Tough Muffin. And Tough Muffin busts through first. Lead jammer, Tough Muffin. And that gets called off. Farrell Fawcett wearing the star up against Patel Her Pain. And Farrell Fawcett finds a way through first. Lead jammer, Farrell Fawcett for Socal. The Cuttlefish. Farrell Fawcett calls it off. Wojo up against Mayday. Timeout called. Timeout over. Wodo versus Mayday. Mayday breaks through first. Lead jammer, Mayday. Mayday makes a little jump, doesn't make it, and calls off the jam from the ground. And a team timeout called. And that gives us time for one more jam. Gunner wearing the star for Socal up against Patellar Payne for Lilac City. And a timeout. Timeout over. 5-second warning. Jammers off the line. Both jammers dealing with excellent defense once again, but Patellar Payne gets sent out. And just come back in and breaks through first. Lead jammer, Patellar Payne, and the pink pants of power. Sweaty sends Patellar Payne way out and way back. As Patellar Payne goes way behind and builds up speed. A lot of people come in right behind the skater that sent him out, but Patellar Payne goes way back. 4 points for Patellar Payne and Lilac City. Period clock out, but we still have 1:14 left for this jam. And another 4 for Lilac City. This is about the point when I make the joke about how lovely lilacs smell this time of year. After a full hour of skating, probably not so great. And that is the end of the game. Unofficial score posted. They'll have to figure out the exact final score. Lilac City picking up 11 points that last jam. They're going to do some math up here. Make sure everything is right. And that is the final score. Socal 45, Lilac City 253. Do not let this uneven score tell you anything. This was an excellent game played by excellent teams. A great work for both teams. Lilac City taking their victory lap. Come on up to the line. Smack some hands. Give some love to these excellent skaters. Worked their heart out to bring you some entertainment and fun. And now a lap for Socal. Smack those hands. Give them some love. They worked really, really hard. Great defense by both of these teams. And we will see you here in just about an hour or so for the next game. Correction, next game at 2 o'clock, so an hour and a half. We'll see you there. Go have some lunch. As a reminder, the Witch's Brew Coffee Company will be here until about 2, so now's your last chance to go get one of those delicious coffees or fantastic energy drinks, which is what I'm going to go do right now.